So this bag must go on a diet. It weighs 20 pounds. Let's see what we can get rid of. So right off the bat, I can see that there are some things that shouldn't have been in the bag in the first place. Like, for instance, what am I actually going to wear on the plane? So that's some clothing that can come out of the bag. Some other things I see that are probably not going to be necessary. I had originally packed 2 shirts that I can wear underneath my long sleeve shirts. I expect that in early May we are still going to have some cold days, but I've decided that I can always use my outerwear to compensate. So this can go. So what else do I have in here? Well, I have a jacket that I can wear because it's going to be cold. I have an actual full-on coat that I suspect somewhere around Burgos I should be able to ship home. I have a rain poncho that goes over the backpack, and I'm debating whether I should take my actual raincoat with me as well. So I'm still debating. If I have to shed more weight, I might have to leave this one behind. Then there's the electronics. Last time I didn't take my GoPro. I took my phone and that was it. This time I plan on taking external mics. I plan on taking my GoPro. I plan on doing as much video as possible. So I also have my iPad. And of course this is adding a lot of weight to my pack as well. Initially, I thought I was going to take 4 changes of clothes. So as you saw earlier, I took out 1, which is the airplane. But I'm seriously debating taking out 1 more. Again, I know that I need some long sleeves. The original plan was 2 long sleeve shirts and 2 short sleeve shirts. But I might have to leave one of these long sleeves behind as well. One lesson I did learn last time is that you can't have too much underwear. Sometimes facilities for washing aren't available. Sometimes you get in late and there's not going to be enough time for things to get dry. And so I wanted to make sure I wasn't in a predicament where I didn't have clean underwear. I don't mind wearing dirty clothes, but not dirty underwear. I don't use a sleeping bag. I use this liner, and it worked really well last time. What ends up happening is the pillows and the albergues end up going inside of here, and then you end up facing that down and tucking into the liner itself. The liner is supposed to naturally be protectant against bed bugs. However, I also treat it with Promethean. I know there's a lot of controversy on that, but I'd rather not have bed bugs. So that's what I do. I do also treat this blanket, and again, instead of a sleeping bag, I take this. It is very light, and I carried it last time. I ended up putting it in a dry sack and hanging it off the outside of the pack. You do see a little bit of plastic here, but for the most part, I tend to use dry sacks. I don't use plastic. I try and compress everything in there and make sure everything fits nicely into my bag. And then of course I will be wearing a hat this time, since last time I learned that straw hair happens after a couple weeks of direct sunlight. A couple of things that I have in here, which I might pare down as well, is I did use my buff bands last time. I had very long hair and I would use it to literally pick up my hair, and it would completely take my hair out of my face. So I have these 2, and they of course got washed daily. I had also purchased these handkerchiefs this time. Um, I found that in the morning my glasses would get really clogged up, and I needed to be able to wipe down my face from the sweat, and I figured I would buy these cloth handkerchiefs that I could always rinse out in water fountains, cool myself off with that. And so I have these handkerchiefs. I may not take all three, maybe bring it down to 2, just like the buff bands, and this is probably staying. I do have pegs this time, and if you notice, I painted them, I customized them. That way there's no question that they're mine. And it should allow me to hang my clothes if there aren't any pegs available. That did happen a couple of times. I do see people that they rather take clips like these, or the smaller variety of these, and that's fine too. These were pretty cheap and I was feeling creative, so I made the clothes. I got rid of yet another pair of pants, or shorts actually. So I have one pair of shorts, a pair of pants. So this is a short sleeve shirt. This one is a long sleeve shirt that I'm going to take so that I can use it as a layer over that shirt. This is what I'm taking that I'm wearing onto the plane, which is a pair of pants and a long sleeve shirt. So that is going to actually give me 4 shirts. Still 2 short sleeves and 2 long sleeves. But I now have 2 pair of pants and 1 pair of shorts. The other thing you will see here is this little, really it's a bathing suit cover-up, but it's extremely light, and this will allow me on extreme cases, if I am able to wash everything, I have something to cover me up while I wait for my laundry. Back to the buff band conversation. We are going to keep 2 buff bands, and we are going to keep 2 handkerchiefs. And that is all. The rest stays. So in practice, how would the go bag work? Well, again, here are all the electronics. And all of this would be in a dry sack that would go inside this backpack. This backpack would also be the backpack that would, on the very few occasions I send forward my bag, would be the bag that would have everything I'm sending forward. But right now the conversation is about the go bag. Definitely the towel would be on the outside of this go bag. We want to make sure it's easy, it's accessible. The toiletry bag, which is going to lose some weight, will also be in this bag. And then of course, the clothing I intend to wear the following day would be in this bag. This way it's ready to go. When I get to the albergue, I'm ready to head into the shower. So again, all the electronics, the toiletry bag, the towel, and the following day's clothes. I will not be putting my flip-flops in there, because most albergues make you take off your boots right as you enter. So you need to make sure that your flip-flops are packed somehow where you can easily get to them. Some people tend to put them on the outside of their pack. Sometimes they have a mechanism that they can put them on the outside of their pack. I put it in basically a shoe bag, and I put the shoe bag where I can easily grab it when I arrive at an albergue. You're not going to have a choice on that, so you want to make sure you have something that you can put on when you arrive at our albergue and you take off. There are 2 other luxury items I'm also taking. One is this fold into yourself very lightweight bag. This is for when you're in the shower and take off that dirty clothes. You have a way to easily carry it to the laundry area. Luxury item, important to me. The other luxury item is this for hanging clothes from your bunk. I used it very little, which is why I consider it a luxury item. However, the times I used it, it was absolutely necessary, as my clothes had not dried the evening before, and I don't want to leave it outside. As you know, in the early morning there's dew, and then my perhaps dry clothes gets wet all over again. So I liked having this and having the ability to be able to hang my clothes from my bed when I needed to ensure that things were dry. Don't like wearing wet clothes. One other luxury item this time is contact lenses. I haven't decided if this is going to be a mistake yet, but last time I wore my glasses and I had a very difficult time in the morning hours with my glasses. It would get all fogged up, and I cannot see my phone without my glasses on. And so in discussion with the eye doctor, it was recommended that I try contact lenses, and so I will be doing contact lenses, well, a contact lens on my left eye every day on the Camino to ensure I can read my phone at all times for navigation purposes and such. I will still have my glasses, I just won't be wearing them during the day. I'll be wearing them at night. So this is a luxury item for me. Two other items that I neglected to mention earlier are, one is socks. And I didn't use these socks on my first Camino. They're called Right socks, and they're basically a double layer sock. And I have been using these over the last couple of months for training. So far, so good on the blisters front. And I do have a total of 4 of these socks. 3 are short like this, and 1 that is a longer one. Of course, all 4 are going. As you know, keeping your feet dry is very important on the Camino. Another item I am taking is a selfie stick. I didn't do this last time, and I found that when I returned, there were some shots I wish I would have narrated through. I wish that I would have had the ability to take a better picture. I wish I could have been in the picture. And so this is not only a selfie stick, but also a tripod. I realize that electronics are going to be a big part of my pack. And that is a sacrifice I've chosen to make. The only other shoes that are going in this pack are my now very well-worn trail boots, or trail shoes. They are of the Obaz brand, and I did purchase them on Amazon. Actually, my son purchased them for Christmas for me on Amazon, and I've been using them since. So these are very well-worn, broken-in shoes that I will be using on the Camino this time. If you look at my previous video, you know that I took Merrell boots last time, and my blisters were horrendous. Nothing against Merrell, they just weren't the shoes for me. So this time, Obaz are the ones that are heading on the Camino. So the idea is that when I'm wearing this, I can easily put it back on to me with these Velcro straps and keep my selfie stick with me at all times. So that's the idea here. Just kind of hangs here, doesn't weigh much, and it's always handy. So I have the bag packed. I still need to go through my toiletry bag and see what I might be able to get rid of from here. So let's see if we do that together. Initially I bought these wet wipes because I do remember being on the Camino many times carrying some sandwiches and wishing I had ways of cleaning or washing my hands. Luxury item. So what's in here? For my toothbrush, toothpaste. I did take a smaller one last time, and I ended up having to buy some while I was there, and it ended up being bigger than this. So I'm taking this from the get-go this time, figuring that it'll just get lighter and lighter as we go. But I have to brush my teeth, so that's not a luxury item. Other pilgrims will appreciate it. I did take Lush bars last time, and didn't last very long for me. Of course, I had long hair at the time. This time, I am taking both shampoo and conditioner. What might stay might be the conditioner, but I do need some quality shampoo in my hair. I did completely fry my hair last time. Everyone will appreciate the deodorant. And sunscreen, not a luxury item. So why is this all in this bag, you're saying to yourself? Well, in the morning, it's easier to head into the bathroom with one bag that has everything in it. And of course, when you're done in the morning, you're going to need to put it back in your shower bag or your go bag, so that way you have everything you need in the shower. The advantage of this bag is that it does have a hook, so it will hook on and you can access your soap and your things while you're in the shower. I'm going to continue to go through this. You might have spotted that I have some hairspray in here. I don't have a lot of hair these days. And I have cream, and I also have gel. I don't need these items, so I think all of it is staying. This is additional cream. This, however, is foot cream, and that is necessary. I purchased this Betadina while I was there last year, and this is some off-brand Neosporin. I can leave the Betadina behind, as I know I can purchase it while I'm there. And at this point, I've been walking now for several weeks, and I haven't had a problem with blisters. So I think if I have an emergency on the way to Horizon, I'm sure another program would share with me. And I think I'm going to make the decision that all of these items, well, not this one, but the rest of these items are luxury items, and they can all stay behind. So that's going to save me some weight. That's quite heavy, right? Just occurred to me that I haven't discussed first aid. And I do have some first aid items packed away already. I have some Compeed left over from last time, and I'm just going to take these again. I've been walking for some time now. I don't expect this to be necessary. If after the first few days it's looking good, I'll probably give them away. And then in here, I have some basics, some Advil, some Tylenol, Pepto-Bismol, and the very important needle to pop the blisters. As I mentioned previously, Betadina actually was very effective when I was there last time to help dry out the blisters. For weeks, I used the equivalent of Neosporin, and with one try of using Betadina, it literally dried my blisters. So this is something which is basically translates to iodine. If you get your hands on this, it's very effective. I also have in here some of the paper tape. Actually, I have a lot of the paper tape. But this is something that if ever I feel any hot spots, it will be placed on my feet right away. And this bag, you will notice, is a separate little bag. This bag is the one that after I get out of the shower, I tend to sit up there and take care of my feet. And when I say up there, I always get the top look. So that's what this little go bag is. I got rid of some of the individual little bags that I have, but this one I decided to keep because, again, all my feet things and first aid items are here. And I am actually placing this on the very top of my backpack on the zipper that's on the outside, so I can reach it during the day if I'm feeling a hot spot and I need anything. One last item, and I'm not ready to pack it yet, but it is petroleum jelly, and that is what I use. Some people purchase the equivalent of Body Glide for the feet. Some people I've heard, are using Mentholate or the minty, Big Vaporoo kind of material. I used petroleum jelly last time, and I still had some problems, but I've been using the petroleum jelly for the last several months in my walks and haven't had any problems. So this is definitely going with me. This will probably be in the morning bag, as I need this in the morning as I prep for the day. So that will end up being in this bag. I forgot to mention I purchased some KT tape. I had some problems with my knee last time, and I had a very nice Peregrina share some with me. And this time I'm prepared. I'm taking some with me. I am taking a headlamp with me this time as well. As I walked many times very early in the morning to avoid the heat of the day, this headlamp is going to be helpful with that. And we are also taking some of these wash-ease, they're called. And we, for the most part, when we used washing machines, which we tended to use often, we split them amongst two, sometimes amongst three of us. And most of the time they will give you the detergent. Sometimes they won't, and this time I'm prepared, so I won't have to figure out how I'm going to get my stuff, my soap. And this is probably not going, but if it does, this is to help keep us cooled down. It's intended to be wet, and it goes around your neck and it keeps your temperature down. At this point, I have a weight issue, so it might not make it. Last few things is the notebook that I did not take last time, and I found that I didn't take notes other than the notes I took with my iPad. My plan is to make some notes. If after the first couple of days I'm not making them, I'm just going to leave it behind somewhere. It's from the dollar store. I will live. Of course, my passport, not a choice. And then the credencial, which this time I did order two, since we do plan to take a little longer than we did last time, and last time we needed to. So that is all. So just a few more things I forgot to mention is, instead of taking a purse this time, I will be taking a fanny pack. And the fanny pack will contain, of course, my documents, but it will also contain my GoPro and my phone. So that weight will go here. It will also give me an ability to have a water bottle right in front of me. Last time I destroyed my crossbody purse shoving in my water bottle constantly. So this is the pack. You will also see that I have this hook, which also adds a ton of weight. However, this hook, the way that it works is that it gives me the ability to hang this bag from the bunks or any place else that I need to hang it from, so it's not necessarily on the floor. That is a luxury. I realize that. It was a very nice luxury since last time that was not something I had available to me. So that does add quite a bit of weight. Alright, so let's see where we're at. 15 pounds without the fanny pack. So I was able to shed 2 pounds off this bag. Might still go through and see what else I can get rid of. But that is definitely within, as you can see, my 10%. So that actually will work. It is appearing to be overstuffed, and that is because of the way that the weight is distributed with the additional backpack on the inside completely packed. If it wasn't packed that way and things weren't in dry sacks, things would fit in a little better and make better use of the space. But the dry sacks ensure that in a rainstorm that perhaps I can't get ahead of, my actual clothing is not wet. It also helps me in organization and keeping things ready to go, and protects my electronics, which is very important as well. What you never want to do in an albergue, if you want to make friends, is a bunch of plastic bags. You know, everybody knows not to make noise in the morning, but sometimes you get into the albergue and the albergue is full of people trying to take naps. And it's just not a way to make friends. So if you please leave the plastic bags at home. The dry sacks still can be a bit of a rustling, but never as bad as a plastic bag. So like I said, I might still make some tweaks to this bag, and if you have any suggestions, put them down there. You will see that I do have other videos on my 2016 Camino and other videos pertaining to this Camino. If you're interested, follow me and I will be posting as I go. Thanks for watching.